What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We are back working on Papa T's car tonight. We got Andrew and Hunter over tonight, so we're gonna try to get a little bit done. I know last time you guys saw this, I had this welded up, but I decided to go ahead and take this tube off right here for the smog stuff. So went ahead and just cut that off, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill this hole in. So of course I'll show you guys that. Also, I always like to try to give a warning when I remember. There will be flashing lights in this video, so if you got anybody in your house that's sensitive to this type of stuff, you might want to send them in another room. My dad's car, his starter is hanging up on it. So this is a typical common problem. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine, Fox Chamber, Jim, if you guys don't know, go check out Fox Chamber over on YouTube. Awesome guy. So Jim had the same problem with his car, but for us, I'm wondering if it's not something with the solenoid. Now, the solenoid has been replaced, the starter has been replaced, it's wired correctly as far as on the starter to the solenoid, and also the ignition switch has been replaced. But I'm wondering if there's not something else going on with the solenoid. Also, it's been sanded and regrounded, by the way. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and weld this thing up and look at the starter and then look at the clutch. We're gonna let Hunter weld this up.
Oh no.
Why?
Man, I ain't never welded nothing in my life. You keep that.
You asked too many questions.
No, you need to ask some questions about if that hole gonna fill up or not.
So Hunter, all right, so Hunter doesn't think that I can fill this hole in.
That's a lot.
You think it is?
That's a lot.
Watch this. What? What? Hunter, what you got to say now?
Huh?
What you got to say now?
It looked like an Audi.
I'm not a welder by any stretch of the imagination, but stuff like this, like these holes, guys, you can fill these things in if you just take your time. You just kind of ease your way around it, just a little spot weld. You can fill in these holes like this, no big deal. So anyway, we now have that done, and yes, all that looks like trash, but we don't really care, right? We just want this thing to be sealed up. So this should be sealed up now, frees up a little bit of room here. From here, what we're gonna do now is try to address this starter situation. So I'm gonna go ahead, unhook everything, let the car down, and we're gonna probably swap a few things around if we can and see if we can't get the starter to quit hanging up. I'll get back to you guys in just a second. The solenoid on this car, I went to take the all the leads off, and it just crumbled. So we ran to AutoZone, we got ourselves a new solenoid, and we wired it up differently, which really doesn't matter. You can put it on this side or that side, and it's just gonna make the connection. But we went ahead and did it like factory, put everything over here on this side that goes to or from the battery, and then this side over here goes out to the starter. And guys, it's the same thing. I guess well, we'll just start it up when we get up there, and we'll do it that way. But I'm gonna let you guys hear what it's doing. Also, we found a massive vacuum leak back here. So this thing had a plug on it, and the plug come loose, so the whole back of the intake was just leaking like hell, which explains why this car didn't have any brakes. And I forgot to mention that in the video before, but like getting it up on the trailer and then pulling it around, 0 brakes. So just remember, guys, if you are new to like FOXBODYs or anything like that, no, your brakes work off vacuum. It just comes in right here to this and out from here. So it just pulls vacuum from this intake, right? Well, it was open on the back side, so that means there's no vacuum up here at all. So it should run a little better now. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and lift the car up. Good luck, Andrew.
Stop.
All right, guys, so what we're gonna do now is have Andrew start the car up, and we're gonna check the voltage to the starter to see if it's still applying voltage after he releases the key. It may just be a mechanical issue. It may need to be shimmed, I'm not sure. But either way, guys, that's what we're gonna do. So Andrew's gonna start the car up, and we're just gonna test the voltage. Nah, I think it's a mechanical issue because actually it looks like, is that a shim already? A small shim? I can't tell. It is. The starter was shimmed. So what we're gonna do is try to shim it just a little more. So he used really thin washers, and we're just gonna go with a little thicker washer and see if that doesn't help.
What, man?
Get you guys up there where you can see. I can't see what you're seeing right now, but it definitely looks like it's engaged too deep. See the line around the edge? So there's a good chance that it just needs to be shimmed, but I'm not sure on that. Anyway, I'll let you guys know what we find out here in just a few minutes. So we went ahead, shimmed this thing up, and put a new starter on it. These are just a little bit thicker of a washer that we decided to put on here. So we're just gonna see what happens. I don't know. I don't expect this to fix it, but it's worth a try. All right, whenever you're ready, Andrew.
Ready?
Yeah.
Bolted on the car?
Yeah. Didn't seem to be as bad.
It was very light short.
I just want to hang out with famous people.
We on the wrong channel.
All right, so we have another problem with the car, and that is burnt wires. Now, you could be like Hunter here behind the camera and ask, well, why don't you just buy a set of new wires? Which he repeatedly asked about 6 times. And my answer to that is, well, wires start to get expensive, and you guys know, just like I do, you may put a new set of wires on your car, and within a week, hey, it rolls over, touches the header, now you have a burnt wire. But we should all just run out and buy brand new wires, right? So here's a good example of something that you might want to just try to save rather than, well, actually those aren't, it's probably not even arcing from there, to be honest with you. But we'll go ahead and show you guys how to do this. You can still see the red coating on the wire. Yeah, it's just a coating, but we'll go ahead and fix this. Now, if your wire's burnt like really close up and you've got enough room, then you can go ahead and just cut the wire off, you know, and replace it. That's fine. But for us, what we want to do is go ahead and pull this insert out and put a new boot on it. So there's a couple different ways to do this. Let me grab this WD-40. So I'm just going to go in. Now, I don't like doing this simply because you could cut the wire or whatever, but this is obviously an alternative here. Just come in and split the boot that you want to replace. You have to be careful though. You don't want to cut all the way through it anyway. Okay, so that's all that's inside of your wire. Now you could cut this off if you needed to, and you'll see right here that there's the center core is folded around. So you see that little black spot? That's the core of the wire that is just folded around and grounds out to this. So like I said, if it's burnt down here low, you can just snip it off and then cut it back and fold that wire back around like that insert. But for us, we just want to replace this boot, so I'm going to go grab another one. We're going to lube it up, slide it on. Now this doesn't always go as planned. Sometimes these things don't slide on very good, sometimes they do. It just depends. So that's a really sharp angle. What you can do is you can bend this out ever so slightly, give you more of a straight shot. And anyway, you're just going to work it in. This is our donor boot, so this is off of just another set of Ford racing wires. That's why we don't throw them away. So if you absolutely had to, you could actually just use another color wire, obviously, something like that. Anyway, there you go. It's on. It's good. This video is going to be, well, there's not going to be a lot of stuff going on in this particular video. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Andrew's leaving. Still got Hunter here. So real quick, let's talk about this car, Papa T's car, and what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to get this car back on the road and get it to where it's fun to drive again for my dad. It's had some issues with the shifter, not wanting to, shift good like I mentioned before. The clutch just feels weird. Starter hanging. Wrong dipstick in the car, so we got all that situated. Put a stock style dipstick in here, or a stock dipstick. So got all that done. Found a big gaping vacuum leak back here, so we just plugged that off. Fixed the exhaust on it. Like I said, guys, this is not going to be a huge transformation with this car. I didn't bring it over here to restore it and do anything like that. We just want to go through it and make sure that everything's working good and get a shifting situation and all that figured out. But this is what I want to let you guys know. We're probably gonna have one more video with this car, and that's gonna be me basically just finishing it up as best I can. And then we're gonna go drive it, beat on it a little bit, because hey, we got to do that, right? This car runs really good, so we're probably gonna go beat on this thing a little bit and then get it back to Papa T, and hopefully put some new tires on it, things like that, and he can start driving it a little bit more. I know the car's gonna run better because it had a big vacuum leak, so we got that done. We are going to do a base saddle reset. Okay, so yeah, I think the GoPro died on us right in the middle of doing one of these boots or whatever. But anyway, the boots worked out really good, guys. That is an option for you if your boots get burnt. just, you know, pull some boots off some old wires and you should be good to go. It's a little aggravating, it's a little tedious, but it'll save you a lot of money, so you can do that. So I did pull the shifter out of the car. As you can see down here, that's a Stita Tri-X shifter. And we're trying to figure out why the shifter was a little sloppy. Does not take much movement of anything. See how this is just loose? So it doesn't take much movement down here to make a big difference in the shifter handle up here. So a little bit of movement down there will cause a lot of movement up here. So guys, check these bushings out. Same thing for a T5 or whatever. If these things are worn, then you could have a problem. I'm gonna put my old bushing out of my T5 over here in this thing and see if that fixes the problem. Either way though, I do appreciate you guys kind of hanging out with me on Papa T's car over here. This has been fun, but there's not really a lot to show you guys. Here's the old solenoid though, we'll show you that. It completely busted when we tried to take it off. So anyway, I'll get back up with you guys here in the next couple days or so, and we'll take this car down the road and beat on it. That'll actually probably happen tomorrow. About this car is it's always driven so good. You know, some cars just drive good, some cars don't. My red car actually doesn't drive as good as the Calypso does or this car. Just some fun facts. All right guys, like I said, we're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to go down here, kind of hit this thing a time or two and come on back to the house. Vibration in the shifter. Car's not skipping, no misfires or anything like that. We're not going to hit it from a dead stop because that's pointless, but let's just kind of see how the car tacks up. Shift the gears that fast. Damn, this thing runs good. Holy crap. All right, so let's talk about this for a quick second. My GoPro actually died on me, so I didn't really have a chance to explain to you guys like how I felt about the car, how it drove. Check this out. That is probably one of the most fun cars that I've driven in a long time. I don't know what it is. I think a lot of it has to do with the sound of the car. The car just has a very, very unique sound. It almost screams whenever you get into it. It's probably that 3-inch exhaust and everything else. Guys, that's just an old school Paxton SN93 supercharger. The starter's doing a lot better. It only hangs for just a split second afterwards. Sorry, if you hear that in the background, we have 2 hawks that live here and they're always out here screaming and screeching, making noises. But guys, look, I'm super impressed with his car. I really enjoy driving it. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.